Hey, 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 good morning, and welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy, right here with no headache, no pain. Last night was not fun. No, I was in bed by like 7 o'clock, hurting everywhere with my head just pounding. It's that, like 24-hour thing that you kind of sometimes get after a vaccine. I think I had that with my flu shot too. I don't know. Anyway, it's gone. The good thing about it was I knew it wasn't going to last. I wasn't sick. I was just having a reaction. That's all. Just a reaction. And now I'm fine. Oh my gosh. I cannot tell you what it felt like to wake up this morning, not have my head pounding and feel queasy and hurt all over. I do. Whoops, almost knocked over my coffee. I do still have a little pain right here where I got the shot, but I'm such a wimp, I guess. I don't know. But I feel so much better now. Yay! I did, however, wake up to see that there were two messages from the home where my 98-year-old mother Fritzy is living. That is never a good sign first thing in the morning to know you got a call in the middle of the night, but she's fine. She's fine. I called as soon as I woke up. Um, She's feisty, that woman. Moderna, just to be clear. I got Moderna. Um, so Fritzy at 98 years old, for a while was like confined to her wheelchair, not doing anything for herself. She was being lifted to go into the chair, being lifted to get back into bed, to get dressed. But for some reason, at 98, she's decided she can do all this on her own, and that's why she keeps falling so much, is she keeps getting up and trying to take a little walk, and she hasn't walked in so long, she can't really her body oh, am I looking all teary to you? She doesn't have the balance anymore. Mm. 2 dogs. There's a great joke about that I can't tell you, but I got this mug in, I believe it was in Australia, and we were laughing so hard because it was a joke that it's kind of a it's it's a joke, and, we used to tell it in my family, and we got so excited when we saw a place that had 2 dogs hard lemonade. We didn't care about the hard lemonade part, but we bought T-shirts and mugs for everybody in the family. It was really pretty funny. What else? What else? So I'm healthy. Fritzy fell, but she's fine. Um, this is the what would have been my Uncle Albie's birthday. Uncle Albie was my husband's uncle, but I kind of owned him in my head. Yeah, Uncle Albie and Aunt Marilyn, such a great couple living back east. Just so brilliant, both of them. And I'm sharing that because on the 27th of October, there are two people I always think of. One is Quentin Graham. Quentin, hi. Doug, if you're here, I'm talking about your brother. Quentin and I worked together at Balloon Affair, my company, for years and years. He was the manager. So creative and talented. And he shares October 27th, or shared his birthday with Uncle Albie. So it was always kind of a joke that you couldn't, wish one a happy birthday without the other. And one day I was going through the who's who thing, to tell you whose birthday it was. And it had this name, Albert Medwin. And I thought, wow, that's really funny. That's the same name as Uncle Albie. Wait a minute. Uncle Albie's real name is Albert. Why is he an Encyclopedia Britannica? And I went to that page and I read the article, and this guy who was like my uncle for 20 years, he was my uncle. He's, like, famous for being brilliant and inventing some kind of transistors or something like that. I don't even remember what it was, but can you imagine looking up what famous people were born today and finding one of your relatives there? It was crazy. So, of course, I reached out to everyone in the family and said, "Did you know Uncle Albie was famous?" And you wanna know something? Nobody knew he was famous. That's what a humble guy he was. I am not humble. There's nothing humble about me. Nope. Sorry. Sorry. Um, if I've got a horn to blow, I'm gonna blow it. If I've got a horn to toot, I'm gonna toot it. That's just the way it goes, you know? I want you to share in my joy. Woohoo! Um, does Indy have famous relatives? Well, Indiana Jones, of course, they're like this, right? I don't know. Since we can't play music, he's decided he's not necessary, and I can't get him to just come in here and do this with me. I wish he would, but he's right there. I can see him, I know he's listening anyway. So, Indy, if you have any famous relatives, let us know. I don't know. I don't have a lot of famous relatives. And actually Uncle Albie was my husband's uncle, not mine. So, oh, well, my famous relative, of course, was Uncle Benny. I've talked about him many times. Yeah, he was a gangster, right? In the who's who of American gangsters. That's my famous relative. I got gangster blood. Let's see what else. Oh, I know what I wanted to share with you. I was sending out a birthday message this morning and I said something about um oh, I know. That you've had such a wonderful life. Make today the best day so far. It was a birthday message. And then I thought about the term so far. What a wonderful, wonderful term it is. So far. It always leaves room for things to get better and better and better. I have to do some word art that just says so far. Like, are you feeling great? Well, so far. Well, that leaves room to not feel great, I guess. Anyway, so far, like up to right now, this is the best it's ever been. But that's only so far. There's still time. Okay. It is American Beer Day. There are those who would tell you that imported beers are much better and IPAs are the best, but you can have an IPA that's an American beer, right? Like a locally made IPA. And that would be okay. Hmm. Okay, so much for American beer. Rolling Rock. I like Rolling Rock. That's the only beer I really like. I know it's kind of girly, but it's a mellow beer. But that's an American beer, right? Rolling Rock. I like that. So I would celebrate. Woo! We're getting very close to Halloween. I like to do something about Halloween. It is Black Cat Day. And if you have any love in your heart, go down to your local cat house. Go down to your local ASPCA or something like that and adopt a black cat. Did you know black cats are really, really, really hard for them to find homes for? We humans have some weird stuff going on about black cats, especially right around now. Yeah. So if you see a black cat, go out of your way to be nice for it. Cross its path. Bring it some good luck. Black Cat Day. Um, Happy birthday to Theodore Roosevelt, 1858. He's the one who said, walk softly, but carry a big stick. I like that. It's like you don't have to be mean, but just let people know that you can back up everything you say. You got the power, baby. That was him. He was also the first American president to ever ride in an automobile. Well, yeah, because we're talking about the very early 1900s. He was the youngest president. He was the youngest president, period. He was moved into office at the age of 42 because he replaced McKinley, who was assassinated, right? The youngest president to ever be elected. I can hear you arguing with me. No, it was Kennedy. It was Kennedy. Kennedy was 43, and he was the youngest president to ever be elected to the office of POTUS. Yes. But Teddy Roosevelt, thank you for the teddy bear, Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt, yeah, he was the youngest ever to come into office. Good morning, Ginny. I know Ginny likes today's word art. We'll talk about it later. You can post it in your group. You have to have it be about this in order to be in Ginny's group. And today it's special for you, baby. It's actually a repost, but I love it so much I didn't want it to go like unheard in your lifetime. Yeah, it may be new to you. Mm. Remember yesterday we were talking about the White Sox and I said it was the first time they'd won a World Series or whatever it was in like 4 gazillion years. Today in 2004, the Red Sox finally broke the curse of the Bambini. Now, what is the curse of the Bambini, you say? Many of you, I'm sure, Stephen, I'm sure you know this. The curse of the Bambini was the curse that many people felt was put on the Boston Red Sox when the Red Sox come here. Oh, not Bambini, Bambino. See, he did come in, but he's in his robe, so he wouldn't come all the way over. The curse of the Bambino. The Bambino. That would be. Oh, geez, I'm really goofing this one up really badly, aren't I? The curse of the Bambino. Yes, that was in 1920. Babe Ruth was sold. How can you sell a person? That's just wrong. Babe Ruth, he was the great Bambino. He was sold to the Yankees. And the Red Sox decided they were cursed and they did not win a pennant for 86 years. So no wonder 2004 was like such a big deal. I can remember my son-in-law and my grandson like being out of their minds with excitement. Oh, not my son, not my grandson. He would have been if he'd been there, but he wasn't. He was born in 2011. Yeah. He was born on January 1st, 111111 at 11:18. Yeah, so it was 1111118, something like that. I don't know. Emily Post's birthday. She was the etiquette expert. Thank you to Emily Post for having us have a much needed genteel society. Yes. What did I do with glasses? Here's some. Babe Ruth. Yeah, Babe Ruth, the great Bambino. Don't call him Bambina or Bambini. Bambini, the great Bambini worked on Cicero Avenue at a cat house in 1922. We don't talk about her much. Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, that was back in 22 when bread was a nickel, and so was the great Bambini, right? I knew that. Ba-bam. Okay, what else? Oh, I know. On this day in 1955, Rebel Without a Cause, the movie came out. That was like with Natalie Wood and Sal Mineo. It had a great cast. And James Dean, and they had that great race car scene. I was actually in the play. I played the little sister. Yeah, go figure. Why would they make me the little sister? Anyway, I just think it's interesting that James Dean was killed in a car crash. One of the most famous scenes in that movie is a street race, and the movie came out a month after he died. Wow. Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that they like released the movie so soon. I would think that would have been very hard for not just family but fans too. Difficult. Anyway, moving right along, 1954, there was Walt Disney TV. Did you know that? All the way back in 1954. Later, it became the World of Disney or something like that, or the Colorful World of Disney. But in 54, it was Walt Disney Television, and they actually did that to get money. They did it for money. Really cool. Mm. My friend God Susie, my daughter's godmother, she's my BFF here. Her Aunt Tippy was one of the original Imagineers. And when you go to Disneyland and you look in on Main Street, they have this building and it looks like it's a real building, but it's just a facade. But they have pictures and names on the windows, and Aunt Tippy is one of the people in the window. Yeah. In fact, Godsey is such a huge fan of Disneyland that they just had their anniversary just a couple weeks ago. Um, they got married at Disneyland, at Disney World. They got married at Disney World, and we all flew out there and had like the most amazing Disney wedding. It was gorgeous. Yeah, it really was. Very fancy, very beautiful. Yeah, true story. The Wonderful World of Disney, but it changed its name and became that. Originally, it was Walt Disney's Disneyland TV. That's what it was called. 1904. You know what happened? If you live in New York, you'd be really grateful. That was when the New York subway first opened, and it was the first underground subterranean how do you say that? Underwater, subwater and railway. Yeah. Sure saved people a lot of time, a lot of walking. And now we have, of course, the Channel. The Channel, well, we don't have it, but it goes from England to France under the English Channel all the way over. Been there, done that. I've done it a couple of times. It just feels like a train ride. You don't even realize you're underwater. Well, until you look out the window and you see fish swimming by. Just kidding. You're in a tunnel. There's no water. You don't see the water. Yeah. It's pretty exciting. And it's not that close. I mean, I don't know. I was going to say it's like 500 miles, but it's not that far. But whatever it is, it's like a long enough trip, and but it just feels like you're in a train. It's like, yeah, you went underwater to get there, but you don't know it. The coolest way I ever went from England to France was in Calais, we went to Calais in France from Dover, the White Cliffs of Dover, and we took one of those really fast boats. I forget what you call them. Anyway, that was an adventure. That was really cool. What else? Okay, this LSD was made illegal in 1970. So for those of us who grew up in the 60s and did LSD, which does not include me because I was a chicken, for those of you who did LSD before 1970, apparently your trips don't count because it was perfectly legal then. 1970, it was made illegal. Okay, would you like to hear my favorite trivia of the day? This is so cool. You will definitely want to be sharing this today and laughing about it. And it's not so much that it's funny, it's just the words are funny. You know how we always say in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue and he discovered America and blah, blah, blah. He discovered a lot of things in 1492. Columbus discovered Cuba. He thought it was Asia, and he named it Juana. I mean, can I just say that one more time? In 1492, Columbus discovered Cuba, thought it was Asia, and named it Juana. I'm sorry. What a silly guy. Why didn't he just look at his map and he could see that it was Cuba? Jeez. Mori Amsterdam's death day today. Mori Amsterdam died. Not today, like years ago, but I loved Mori Amsterdam. I think because he reminded me of everybody's uncle. He was he was married, but I don't think he had kids. I don't know. I should look it up. His character didn't have kids on the Dick Van Dyke Show. He was Maury Amsterdam on the Dick Van Dyke Show. He was just funny. He was kind of a grumpy, grouchy old guy, and I don't know, I just liked him. And then one day when I was, I'm going to say 12, 13, maybe 14, I don't know. I think I was still in junior high. So I must have been like 12. My parents took my brothers and I down to Mexico. It wasn't that big of a deal. Okay. We live in California. It's our neighbor. So we drove down to San Diego and then went across the border into Mexico so we could go to the highlight matches. My father had always wanted to see a highlight match. So we went down to the highlight matches. which, by the way, I remember as being extremely cool. And there was actually like all this betting and screaming and yelling. And yeah, it was cool. Anyway, who do we run into at the highlight matches but Mori Amsterdam? And that was like at the height of his popularity. And I had a big crush on him. So that was really cool. Yeah, but it wasn't really a close encounter of the first kind because we didn't talk. I just got excited to see him and, like did that. That was about it. It wasn't a big deal. Okay, there's oh, how I wish we could do music because today is such an awesome day for music. In 1964, 31-year-old Salvatore married 18-year-old Sherilyn, and they decided to do a musical group together, and they called themselves Caesar and Cleopatra. Caesar and Cleo. Do you know who that was? Do you? Do you? It was Sonny and Cher. Yeah. He was 31, she was 18. Yeah. But they were awesome. Oh my God. They had so many hits together. It was so amazing. Yeah. 12 years they were together. They were pretty awesome. I'm sorry. I mean, she's amazing, okay? And he became mayor of Palm Springs. That's my hood. And then didn't he die in a skiing accident or something? Yeah, but there's the Sonny Bono this and the Sonny Bono that all over the desert here. 1957, the Crickets, inspired by a John Wayne movie. That's my favorite part of this. I can't remember what the movie was that came out that year that John Wayne starred in, but no matter what was going on, somebody would say something to John Wayne and he'd just look at him with that stoic look of his and he'd go like this. Well, that'll be the day. That'll be the day. So, guess what? The Crickets, headed by Buddy Holly, came out with That'll Be the Day When I Die. Now they're all dead. I'm just saying. Don't write songs about dying. Yeah. Okay, the Four Tops in 1966. Reach out. I'll be there. The Four Tops. That was a great song, wasn't it? I'm at least getting the tunes right, okay? I know my voice isn't great, but I'm doing the best I can with what I've got. Yeah. Who was Wait a minute, there's a comment that I missed. Let me see what this is. Dick Van Dyke is 95 and still dancing. Who was taller, you or Maury? That's funny. You spelled it right the first time, by the way. It is Morey, I believe. He was taller. But then who isn't, right? So did I ever mention that when I go to physical therapy, they crack up when I come in because I can't help but be funny. They lay me on this table, and after they massage me because I've got that bump lump whatever it is in my spine that they're trying to protrusion that they're trying to get rid of. They actually have me lay on a table and they pull one leg at a time to kind of like open up my spine a little bit. And I am convinced that I am going to be 5 feet tall by the time I finish this whole experience. But they told me that they're going to stop pulling on my right leg and they're only going to pull on my left leg so that I will walk crooked and I'll be 2 inches taller on one side. I think they're kidding me. I hope they're kidding me. That would be difficult. I could get those cool platform shoes though that you really, they're like Oxfords, but one side is like taller than the other. I could do that. Okay. All right, 1973, 2 weeks at number 1. Midnight Train to Georgia. Do you know who that was? I'm gonna give you a hint. And the Pips. Now, do you know who it was? Do you? Yes. Yes. Gladys Knight. That became kind of like her theme song, Midnight Train to Georgia. 1975, The Boss came out with Born to Run, the album and the song. And it was such a huge hit that he was one of the only people who was on the cover of Time and Newsweek simultaneously. The Boss. Time and Newsweek. Pretty bizarre. You know my story about that, right? Yeah. Well, I got a call one day when I started this balloon business that I had. My partner, my then partner and I started this balloon delivery service, and we were like the first ones in town, and we did it at the Academy Awards, or we wanted to, but we didn't. But we'd done balloon deliveries, and somehow Time Magazine found out about it, and they called us in LA. And I was our office was the guest bathroom at my partner's house. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. We would put this helium, we'd sit on the toilet and use this helium tank. And as we blew up the balloons, we would shove them into the shower to, keep them all in one place. Then I would write on the balloons with felt pens, and then we would go deliver balloon bouquets. And this was like a big deal because it was brand new, right? And one day the phone rings in the office, right outside the office, and I say, "Good morning, Balloon Affair." I mean, it was Balloon Express then. Balloon Express, how can I help you? Anyway, this guy says, "Hi, this is blah 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 from Time Magazine." And I said, "Oh, that's funny. Who is this?" "This is so and so from Time Magazine." I said, "Okay, okay, you win. You're from Time Magazine." He said, "I'm from Time Magazine." I said, "This is hilarious. I get it. Who put you up to it? Tell him it worked." Anyway, it was really so and so from Time Magazine, and they wanted permission to send out a reporter and a photographer to follow us around all day long and do an article on us. I have it right up there on my wall. It did happen. I was in Time Magazine. Yeah, they misspelled my name, and the view of me is actually more from the back than the front, but it was on the page with the original Cabbage Patch Dolls. Yeah, I was in Time Magazine too, just like the boss, right? But you know the rest of that story, don't you? Yeah. I don't want to tell you I had to be successful, but I had to be successful because I had to be successful. Anyway, I called my parents because here I was, like, I had just turned 30, or I was about to turn 30, and I was gonna be in Time Magazine. Do you get the enormity of that? So what do you do when something that amazing happens? You call your parents, right? So I call my parents, my father answers the phone, and I say, "Daddy, you're not gonna believe this. I just got a call from Time Magazine. I'm gonna be in Time Magazine." And it was very quiet on the other end of the phone. And then my father's deep voice said, "The cover?" I said, "Well, no, not the cover, but," and he said, "Call me back when you get the cover." And he hung up on me. Good was never enough. It had to be great. Yeah. So I just went for great from then on. Anyway, so yeah, I was in Time Magazine and Success Magazine and on Oprah. You do know I was a guest on Oprah, right? Yeah. And they had to talk me into being on the show. That's the funny part. I was busy. I had my balloon business to do. I didn't have time to go talk to someone about being in the balloon business. I had to run the balloon business. Was Oprah. She was great, by the way. I liked her. Um, Today's word art. This is for you, Jenny, and for everybody else out there too. I love today's word art. It says gratitude is protein for your soul and popcorn for your heart. It's what your soul needs. It's protein, and it's what your heart just loves. In our house, popcorn is a food group. Yeah. And you've got to have something from every food group every day. Pop, pop, fizz, fizz. I am driving up to LA right now. I mean, like, as soon as I'm done, I'm putting on my shoes. I already showered. I'm already dressed. I am going ba-bam. There I go again with the ba-bam. I am going straight to LA. I'm going to celebrate my niece's 50th birthday, which was a few weeks ago. And I'm going to help my daughter do some work around the new house she's moving to. I'm pretty excited about both. Yes, I am. I love you. I know I say that, but this time I really mean it. No, I mean it every time. I'm so happy to spend a half hour with you. Thank you for your morning or your afternoon if you're watching a replay. Two dogs. Maybe someday I'll get brave and tell you the joke right before I know I'm not gonna be on the air again, so I won't matter who I offend, right? 2 dogs. Mm. Thank you for joining me. I love having you with me, but I wish you'd all make comments so I could say good morning to everybody. And someday maybe I'll be back on Facebook so you can send me little hearts flying up the side because I cannot even begin to tell you what that does for me. All right, I'm off to work. Ta ta. Have a sip and a big smile. Happy, happy Wednesday, my friends. See you on Thursday. Bye bye.